Nintendo has forgotten about Metroid. So at the beginning of this week, there was a sloppy mess online, and a lot of it was Metroid fans feeling very disappointed because Nintendo came out and had a Sakurai Presents Kirby Air Riders Nintendo Direct, where they spent about 45 minutes going over Kirby Air Riders, which actually isn't even coming out until November. Now, we didn't know this at the time, we just knew there was a Direct, and I think Metroid fans was already very upset that Kirby was getting a Direct right now, and Metroid still wasn't getting any information when this game is slated to release this year. But I'm pretty sure Metroid fans got even more confused when Sakurai announced that Kirby Air Riders wouldn't be coming out until November. So everyone's just like in a complete disarray now. Like, what is happening with Metroid Prime 4? How in the world do we still not have a release date? How in the world do we still not have information about this game? And some Metroid fans even took it out on Kirby a little bit and was just so upset they didn't even want to watch the dedicated Kirby Direct. But yeah, what is going on here? Well, as somebody who's played every single Metroid game and loved the series dearly, I'm still probably not a die-hard Metroid fan the way I am with Mario and Zelda, but still, I am very, very excited for Metroid Prime 4. In fact, I've actually gone back and played all the past Prime games one last time before we get to Metroid Prime 4, because for some reason, Nintendo won't bring those games back. It's something else that I wanted to really talk about, like, why did they bring back Prime 1, but not Primes 2 and 3, to prepare us for Prime 4? I mean, most people probably haven't played Prime 2 and 3, so it's very strange to me still. But either way, everybody is on pins and needles right now when it comes to Metroid Prime 4. We have no clue what Nintendo's plans are for this game. Nintendo has been very weird with giving out release dates this year. They've been keeping their cards very close to their chest and not revealing information until like a couple of months to like a month before release, which is strange. I'm not a big fan of that strategy, especially with something like Metroid Prime 4. In my opinion, they really need to be advertising this game. They should have continuous advertising because Metroid already is a niche franchise, which I hate to say that because I love the series and I wish it was bigger and more popular, but it could be that if Nintendo actually puts effort into getting this game out there, and they need to be advertising this game to a lot of people that may not have ever played a Metroid Prime game. Why do people need to pick this up on their brand new Switch 2? They need to explain why, and I feel like they really haven't been doing so. As a huge Metroid Prime fan, like I said previously, even the stuff that I've seen so far in Metroid Prime 4, none of it looks super interesting. I do think it's one of the best looking games Nintendo's ever made. The graphics are insane, and it looks like it has insane potential, and I'm sure it does. It's just, at the end of the day, what we've seen so far seems to be very minor and not that really interesting. I mean, the big focus, it seemed like this time around, is Samus has these new psychic abilities, and the way that she used them, they didn't really look too interesting. She slowly moved one of her own missiles around, or one of her own beams, and she's also slowly opened or closed a door. Nothing really seemed that interesting with these abilities so far. So I need to see why this new Psychic Samus is so important, and I really need to see one of those trailers, you know what I mean, that just hypes you up for the game. It's just constant battling, the boss battles and stuff, and the story, and cool combat. We really haven't gotten a trailer like that yet, and I feel like that's what this game is desperately missing. So it's not just a release date for me, it's also, I want to see what this game is going to be bringing to the table exactly. I mean, we've only also really seen 2 locations in the game. We've seen a jungle forest area called Viros, then the location at the very beginning of the game, which was a giant space galactic battle against the Federation Force and obviously the Space Pirates and Psylocke. So yeah, I want to see more worlds, locations, more things that's going to be happening in this game, but it seems like they're really just, like I said, keeping everything really close to their chest so far. However, Metroid Prime 4 just got rated, and you can actually play a demo at Gamescom, which has a lot of people believing that finally it's almost time. Finally, we're about to get our hands on Metroid Prime 4, and it makes sense as we're getting closer to September. It's probably going to be that big September Direct where Metroid Prime 4 has a huge appearance. I actually wouldn't be shocked if Metroid Prime 4 started the show, or at least had a big segment in the middle of the show, because I do think it's going to end up being our big holiday game for this year. So, do I think this game is going to get delayed or pushed back to 2026, or just something else is wrong with the game? No, not at all. I mean, especially since there's demos out right now for Gamescom still, even though it's the same exact demo, and the game game has been rated. There's just been a lot of things going around that makes me believe that yes, this game is 100% going to be this holiday. I just want to know more about it, and it's just strange to me because even though I am fairly certain we'll get a big, massive blowout within the next upcoming Nintendo Direct, and it might even have its own Nintendo Direct based on how Nintendo's been handling games recently, where Donkey Kong got one and even Mario Kart got one. So I wouldn't put it past them for them to give Metroid Prime 4 a Direct as well. But my problem with this is it just feels like it's so short notice because we're running out of months for this year. September, October, November, December. The year's over. That's 4 months to advertise this game, hurry up and talk about everything, and that's going to December. I'm expecting this game to come out probably around October because November's already slated with Kirby and Pokemon, unless they have a December release, which doesn't feel right for Metroid. So in my eyes, October is the last possible chance, which means it would be the holiday game. And for your big holiday game to really have zero information out there, it's very strange to me. They should have been advertising this game for a while now. It's just so funny to me because they act like this is a 3D Mario or Zelda game to the point where, you know, those games are big enough to carry its own weight. They don't actually need, you know, directs and trailers and stuff constantly updating us with the information. They know it's going to sell well. This is Metroid. This is a different story. This game should be having tons of information out there, and that's what's, you know, kind of scaring me a little bit. But also, from what I've heard of the previews, it's kind of a mixed bag with this game. A lot of people are loving it, saying it feels awesome, it works really, really well, and it's a really cool game. Where I've seen a lot of people say what they played in the Gamescom demo was just okay, that it wasn't anything super special so far. And I have to agree, because from what I've seen so far of the Nintendo Treehouse, it was just okay. You know, that first boss battle looked very, very simplistic. It was hardly moving and hardly shooting at Samus, and its weak points were extremely easy to hit, even though the person playing didn't look like they were that good at the game. But it was very, very early in the game. So, I mean, obviously, you can't really get a feel as to what the rest of the game is going to be like, because Metroid Prime games, they all pretty much start off pretty easy. Like, they all start off pretty basic, pretty slow, pretty easy, and then they ramp up as you get into that isolation, you know, entering the world by yourself, leaving the Galactic Federation. It's reminding me a lot of the intro of Prime 3 a lot. So yeah, that's how all the Prime games pretty much start. So I'm not really, you know, going to judge the game off of the first hour or so. I need to see the rest of the game. And that's just the thing. Nintendo, show us the rest of the game. Show us what this game has to offer. Give us a release date. Just give us some clarity. You know what I mean? You give us a new trailer with a release date, that's all we'll possibly need right now. At this point, I don't even care if it's a Twitter drop or something on YouTube. Like, just show us. You know what I mean? It doesn't even have to be in a Direct at this point. Metroid fans just want to know because this is just strange. But yes, at least we got a Kirby release date. We're just now waiting on Metroid, and I guess also Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. If that even hits this year, we don't even know what's going on with that game yet. So yeah, Nintendo's holiday lineup seems very interestingly, you know, a mystery right now. So we're just gonna have to wait and see if this September Nintendo Direct brings us some joy, if there's even gonna be a September Nintendo Direct. Well, what's also funny is last time I made this video, but with Mario, we got like 2 years of the greatest Mario announcements ever. Like, as far as RPGs, no 3D Mario, but like we got like every Mario RPG ever. Like, it was awesome. But with that said, maybe I, you know, can bring Metroid into the light with this video. Maybe now that I post this video a week or 2 weeks later, just Metroid Prime 4, everything we need. So I'm doing this for us, Metroid fans. Doing this for us. But thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things Metroid Prime 4 and Nintendo in general. And let me know down below, have you been kind of frustrated with the lack of information on Metroid, and are you excited for something soon, and do you expect something soon? Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you guys all have a blessed day today, and I'll see you all on the next one. See ya, guys.